Welcome to the channel. It's AlmightyDen and I'm back again. And today I want to talk to you guys about two stocks, one being Facebook, one being Twitter. These are two stocks that I believe long term will reach and return to all-time highs. They're two popular stocks. I know a lot of people use Twitter. I use Twitter. A lot of people use Facebook. Keep in mind, Facebook and Instagram under the same ticker symbol. And it's also named Meta now. So going forward into the future, if you can get these stocks at a good price, at a good opportunity, this could very well so pay off for you. And these are two very good companies, as we were talking about. And there's a lot of news right now regarding Twitter, with Elon Musk wanting to purchase Twitter. They're having a deal, but the deal has not went through yet. Elon Musk there's talks for him purchasing it for about $44 billion. That's about $54 a share, $54.20 a share. But you know, that deal is not all the way through yet. That is not a done deal. But regardless, in my mind, if Elon Musk was willing to purchase at a certain point, to purchase Twitter at $54.20, and it is now currently at $38 in the $30 range, this to me, that alone, is a very good purchase price. You know, if you look at the chart, Twitter had reached an all-time high of about $80, almost $81, and it's over 50% off now. Just because it's just 50% off now, in this type of market, I could definitely see it coming down even lower. I would not be surprised. I mean, it has been lower as of recently. Just in March, it was at about low $30 right there. So very so well could possibly return to the lower 30s, maybe even the high 20s. But at this range that it is right now, I feel like it's a good time to slowly average down for me personally, even though I am prepared for it to come down and add more, because once I have a company that I believe in, especially like a Twitter or a Facebook, I understand that, okay, if it does go down lower, I'll just continue to get more and more and more. But I do understand that the uncertainties with the market is going, but because a lot of stocks are coming down in price because there's fears of a recession, there's interest rates rising, and there's just a lot of inflation going on, which is having a heavy impact on a lot of stocks, a lot of growth stocks. But you know, you can read the chart, but you need to know what companies that we're holding. And Twitter and Facebook are two companies that I feel like I would be comfortable holding for a long period of time. You know, I feel like they both still can have a lot of room to grow, even though I know they've came a long way already. But if you look at the chart right now, right, and if I go to the 5-year chart, I go to the 5-year monthly chart just to give you guys a quick example. If you look at the chart right here, right, you can see right now we're at $38.29. You can go all the way back to 2014, and it is cheaper than the price than some of the prices was in 2014. To me alone, that's just saying that the price hasn't moved that much since 2014. Yes, it has some fluctuations in this range, this very big range that we're in, but it has not broke out of this range. I feel like this is a very good opportunity to possibly accumulate Twitter. And let's say Elon Musk does take it. You know, he does buy Twitter. And, you know, there's a lot of things. If he does buy it, you know, maybe some people can hold some of the shares. There's some talks about that I can't speak on, nothing I don't know about for certain, because a lot of that stuff is uncertain at the moment. But let's say he does buy it for $54.20, then this would be profit automatically pretty much. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. But regardless, I still believe at this price, it is a very attractive price. Now, if the deal does not fall through, there's an opportunity. There will possibly be an opportunity that Twitter shares will drop in price even more, and then you can get even more and accumulate even more Twitter shares for a cheaper price. But at the end of the day, you got to understand what Twitter is. A lot of politicians, a lot of people use Twitter to voice their thoughts and opinions. It is a very influential place to spread, you know, information. You know, sometimes information isn't good, sometimes it's false, but it's a very useful place to spread information, to say the least. And as you can see, Elon Musk, of course, he has 94 million followers. That is a lot of influence. This is a very important social media platform to be held. This is why him buying it is very, very important. It can be it's a very big deal. But, you know, like I said, I like the price of Twitter right now. It's pretty attractive. I do think that it can go lower, but it's honestly not too out of pocket for me to purchase it right now, because we've seen it twice be at $75 in about 2014, $80 in about early 2021 right there. So and right now we're at $38, we're under $40. So if we can get this thing in the 30s and $20 or even cheaper, I feel like that's a very good opportunity for me. Long-term play, long-term hold. I will be looking to continue to add and build this position throughout these. If it continues to be a downtrend, I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to get as much of this as possible for a very, very cheap price. The next we want to go to Facebook. Now, if we go to Facebook, me personally, it was at what, 380. Right now it's at 193. 380 for 193. At one point it was at about 175 dollars. So that was pretty much a 50% discount. A little bit more than that actually. I do think Facebook under $200 is attractive. Seeing as how before we've had this massive pullback, this thing did nothing. It did nothing but practically go up before this point. So now, if you look at the chart, right? If you're looking at the chart, this is one of the biggest pullbacks it's ever had, but also is one of the biggest run-ups, as of recently. If you look at 2020, the COVID drop, and then it just kind of had a massive run-up into that. So it's giving those gains back, giving you another chance to get in, like pretty much before that massive run-up. And it's like, okay, if I can get in under $200, this is a pretty fair range right here to me. If you look at it, if I had to draw a little box right here, let me see, can I get a box out here? Let's see. I can, but it's all good. But if I just drew a little box around this range right here, like a little rectangle, I think that's a fair range right there. Under $200 is very attractive because at this point, like, I look at it in terms of $50 increments. If it gets to 150, I'll consider adding some more depending on the trend. If it gets to under 100, I would love to get some Facebook for under 100. Very, very simple. That's Instagram, that's Facebook. That's two very, very powerful social media platforms right there. That is a huge decrease in market capitalization. And if we get past this inflation, this recessionary period that's possibly could happen, these things can return to valuations that are even higher than we've seen before. And just like a lot of the news has been around for a long time, that the stock market, every time it has a big dip or a bear market, it recovers to all-time highs. So I definitely would expect that to be the case. But we are living in interesting times right now, and there's a lot of reasons. A lot of things are dropping. Like I said, inflation. We got wars going on. We got COVID. A lot of things just seems to happen one after another. So you do want to be careful. You do want to be smart. But it's not to say that I'm just going all in these positions. But it's just like more so that I'm taking opportunities to slowly average down in these positions, average in at these lower levels. Because at the end of the day, just because it's a dip, doesn't mean you can't catch a fall in life. That's something I understand, but I do like to buy at levels that I feel like I'm comfortable at. It's like, okay, if I buy a little here and it does come down a little bit lower, okay, that's fine. I can get something even cheaper. I don't mind buying things on sale. I'd much rather buy things as they get cheaper than buy them when they go up. Now, because especially if I'm confident that it will return and go back up. This thing has went up ever since 2012. We're in 2022. So this thing went up for practically 10 years. 10 years. Almost 10, 11, that's 2012, 2011. About 9 years. So 9 years. And now it's giving a very, very massive pullback. So when you look at it from this perspective, it's like, okay, this is an opportunity to, buy this thing for a cheaper price. If you look into the future 10 years from now, I would expect Facebook to be an even bigger company. Keep in mind that it's changed its name to Meta. Keep in mind that the crypto world is still relatively new. When all of these things come into play, I do think that Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these things will have a place in these worlds. You know what I'm saying? And all this crypto space as well, even though the crypto is down right now too. But I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking as far as the future goes. This is something that people use every day. People with the most amount of money are on Twitter. People with the most amount of money are on Facebook. A lot of money are being made with these two companies. So I do think they're going to stick around and be here for a very, very long time. I mean, they already have been. Can you think of another social media site like Twitter that has made it? Can you think of another social media site like Facebook or Instagram that has made it or stuck around that long? They're far and few in between. I mean, yeah, you got Snapchat, you got TikTok, but they are far and few in between before that level of success. Once you take the market, and you got the first movers advantage, it's hard to let that up. And they are applying pressure. Facebook is continuing to reinvest in themselves. And like I said, just looking at the chart alone, it's like even when we did have the COVID drop, in 2020, the thing went right back up. We had a little drop in 2018. You can see there, right back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are already looking to buy Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Based on this simple chart. Now, like I said, as far as the market as a whole, You know, just because the price is dropping in a certain stock doesn't mean the company is necessarily doing worse or doing bad. But there's a lot of economic factors that go in, you know, to revenues and money and advertisements, because a lot of these Facebook and Twitter social media sites are based off advertisements. So if these advertisers are losing money due to economic factors, maybe, you know, that could possibly cause Facebook and Twitter to lose ad revenue per se. But that doesn't mean it's not going to return to get back to normal at some point. You know, in my mind, the way I see it is like, okay, right now if things are going down, it's giving me a chance to get it cheaper. All right, I'll take advantage of that, and with the optimism that I do expect at some point things to return more to normal, the economy to bounce back and be stronger. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts. Those are my opinions. These are two stocks that I very much so like, that I definitely recommend that you put on your watch list. You definitely add to these. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eye on these, especially if you use them. If you use them, that's like one of the rule of thumbs of investing. Invest in stuff that you actually use. You know what I'm saying? So this is stuff that I use. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us use, millions and billions of people, you know, our own, and have access to. So all over the world. So, you know, if you enjoyed this video, if you like these stock videos, make sure y'all like the video. Comment down below what you think. And until next time, Densky out.